This story is set in 1943, a time when there was virtually no room for mercy in the skies over Europe. This was the cruelest phase of the war, and every bomber mission felt like a deadly lottery. This is the tale of the crew of a B-17 Flying Fortress, sent on a mission vital not just to winning the war, but to ending it. In December 1943, the American 8th Air Force was assigned a top-secret mission, an attack on a crucial target deep inside Germany. This target wasn't a huge munitions factory, but a highly classified data center that could break the backbone of the enemy's war effort. However, due to an unfortunate mechanical failure that day, almost all the ammunition and defensive weapons on Lieutenant Carter's B-17 bomber, nicknamed the Goose Neck, were jammed. They were left with only the last few rounds for one machine gun. Everything else was useless. Carter was given two choices: abort the mission or proceed unarmed into enemy airspace. Carter knew that if he aborted, another crew would have to fly this suicide mission. His crew, 9 brothers, had fought through many missions already. Carter made his decision. They would continue. This was an unbeatable spirit, a flying fortress that was now completely defenseless. The Goose Neck flew alone. They knew they were entering the most dangerous airspace in Germany. As they neared the German border, a terrifying sight appeared on their radar: a squadron of Major Schmidt fighters waiting for them. The initial attack was led by Major Schmidt, a German ace pilot who had shot down dozens of Allied planes. Schmidt observed the B-17 flying, but noticed there was no retaliatory fire. It was an odd, but seemingly welcome challenge. On the first pass, Schmidt deliberately fired shots that missed the B-17's wing by mere inches. It was a threat, not an attack. He intended to force the B-17 down. Carter's crew looked on, terrified. They had only one machine gun, and it was liable to jam at any moment. They screamed over the radio, "Carter, we're going to die! Turn back!" But Carter gave a strange command: "Do not fire. Keep the aircraft perfectly steady." The rest of the crew thought their commander had lost his mind. But Carter had decided to play a psychological game. He flew the B-17 with such steadiness that it looked like a civilian transport, as if he didn't care that death was circling them. Major Schmidt attacked again. This time, he aimed for the B-17's engine. But at the last second, Carter tilted the plane slightly, and the bullets only grazed the fuselage. Schmidt was now confused. Why wasn't this American crew surrendering? Why wasn't it firing back? Did they possess some kind of secret weapon? The German pilot, Schmidt, was a seasoned warrior. He observed that no weapons were firing from the B-17, yet its crew was clearly determined not to die. He realized this crew was on a suicide mission. Schmidt made a decision that defied the rules of war. He ordered his team over the radio, "Break off. Let this B-17 go." His fellow pilots protested, but Schmidt's order was final. He circled the B-17 and, as a final gesture of respect, dipped his wings twice, a wing salute. It was an unspoken truce. Lieutenant Carter understood. He had been granted a reprieve from a German enemy. Carter dropped his bombs precisely on the target. The mission was successful. When they returned to base, their aircraft was covered in hundreds of bullet marks, but none had caused serious damage. Carter never mentioned Schmidt's act of mercy in his official report, knowing it could endanger the German pilot. But he knew in his heart that even in the darkest corners of war, a thin line of humanity persists. The story of the Goose Neck is not just about a successful mission. It is about the unbreakable bond that tied 9 men together inside an aircraft, and the human dignity that can force enemies to respect one another. It remains one of the most incredible aviation tales.